Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's time for chapter 2 of MILGRAM, and it got interesting. If you haven't seen my first chapter of MILGRAM, the experiment, prison, and the maiden guard, then you missed out on the first chapter, so go watch it first and then come back to this video. But it is a series that I just started here last week, so more videos are to come, hopefully weekly. So I think there's only 5 or 6 chapters out right now, so hopefully as I bust these videos out, more chapters are coming in for me to review for you guys. So MILGRAM is actually a pretty good story, but essentially it focuses on a guard taking care of 5, 6 prisoners, 7 prisoners, something like that. I think it's 5 prisoners, and she needs to basically condemn to them guilty or not guilty, and they're supposed to be all murderers, but they all don't remember anything. So anyways, before anything else, if you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. You guys can follow me on social media or other places by looking at the stuff in the description below. And yeah, like I said, there's 1 chapter out. There's other series that I'm also reviewing week by week, so if this one's not in your liking, then maybe the other ones might be. I try to choose different genres this time, so it wouldn't be all just horror or all survival type of deal. So anyways, MILGRAM, we start off with them basically being left behind by this bunny creature, and they're like, you gotta get to know each other. And all the prisoners decide to leave and leave S, our guard, by herself. Now remember, all these are like not real names, they're just their names. Now the bunny creature is Jackie, so we'll call them by Jackie now, and they're explaining to us that she essentially, her goal is to have each prisoner unchain their journal so that they can read and understand their crime and sin, so that then S can judge if they're guilty or not guilty. But in order to do that, she needs to get them to know each other more. So that's essentially her mission to do. So she kind of goes off first at investigating the place before she even starts finding out who's who, and while doing so, she bumps into our first character called Claus. Now we don't know much about Claus, but Claus does give some information to S about the prisoners prior to S waking up. One of those things is that they did full investigation, and Jackie actually openly gave them permission to walk around and do whatever they wanted in the entire prison to see if they can find a exit door or any exit. And there's no window, no door, nothing for them to be able to get out. So I guess Jackie was playing the whole figure it out, see on your own, so that way you don't have to like rely on me telling you that there is no exit. Not much is said in the conversation between Ez and Claus, other than a pendant or a chain that he has, and that he thinks is special, but he doesn't know why he has it, and that's really about it. The rest falls into basically them or him telling her that they kind of accepted that there's no way out, so they have to just kind of live the life that they're given, and none of them really, like, it's true, none of them really know or understand if they're actually guilty of what they did. They're just kind of living through it, as long as they're not in danger, which is what they say, like, we don't seem like we're in danger, so we're just gonna live our lives, right, and see what happens. They even go into S's room, and not really much to it. I mean, she gets kind of the same treatment as them, which again kind of plays on to the idea of, I kind of feel like S might be also a murderer, and she's being made play this game to also kind of find out more of herself and find out that maybe she also is a person that has killed, and she also probably has to plead guilty eventually. I don't know. I kind of am playing with that idea, but then we go with her thoughts of, you know, memories, and she bumps into these two people in the kitchen. Now they call him Nervous and Gentle. Gentle is the boy that was very aggressive with Jackie in the first chapter. For some reason, I thought he was called Two Side. So if you watch the first chapter review, this is who Gentle is. Apparently, this is the names that they're given now. So these two people are cooking, and essentially they're given certain permissions in the kitchen, and Jackie's the one that allows them to get these permissions because kitchenware can be weapons. One of those is a knife, right? It's kind of obvious. So they speak about that generally, but then they also speak about how Gentle and Nervous are not really against S. They understand that she kind of is in the same situation, and they almost kind of all blame Jackie of this whole situation, which is kind of great because S needs to get along with them. So S just joins in basically preparing food and finding out more about them in general. The story kind of goes into just them talking about food and cooking the food, and just, you know, one or two thoughts here or there between S thinking like, you know, oh yeah, it's obvious why they have the permissions because utensils and stuff like that, but nothing big per se happens until she starts helping Nervous. And Nervous, called Nervous because she basically looks like a nervous wreck. They start talking about, you know, why she's like that. She's like, well, I don't really know. I just, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen next. So that's kind of a fear. And it's like S admits to her like, hey, we look composed, but we're also afraid. Like, we don't know what's going on. Fear is an okay thing. I think a lot of people like this girl, very similar. They kind of assume because they see so many people put well together that no one is afraid of stuff. And I'll get to her before I explain my experience, but through that conversation, S noticed that Nervous actually has cuts in her arms, that she's a cutter. She's been harming herself, and Nervous tells her like, I don't know, like, I don't know why I did it because she has no memories of it, but she knows that she probably had a reason why. And S, instead of blaming her, tells her like, sometimes persons get pushed to that point of self-harm. There has to be something rough that was going through your life. It wasn't just, you didn't do it just for fun, right? And it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing that, right? Which a lot of people end up kind of turning into, and Nervous finds joy in that and starts hugging S. And this is where the big moment happens. There's like a surge, I guess, of something going through S. I'm gonna guess memories of Nervous, or I don't know exactly. And the chapter ends with, if you only knew if you were there, and that's it. That's the end of that chapter. So first person that I guess is gonna be judged, gonna be Nervous. I'm gonna be honest, she probably was going through some abuse, and that's probably what pushed her to that limit of hurting herself. I personally dated a person back in high school who did self-harm, and not going to throw him under the bus too much, but personally, I could have dealt with it a lot better as a person, because instead of sharing to that person and being open about like, hey, everyone has these types of fears and struggles, it was more like, well, you just gotta learn to tough it up, right? And that was kind of my deal. Is like, we gotta tough it up and we gotta move on, keep on going. I wasn't too negative about it happening to her or her doing herself that, but I was tough on the part of not hitting the source of the harm, and more like, you know, there's other ways, right? So I understand what this character is going through, and in some ways, not personally, and I never was a person who harmed themselves, but dated and also lived with a person that did that. So you know, it's one of those things that has been in my life, and I understand that, and it's a serious thing. So if you are going through that, seek some help. You're not the only person out there. And also, if you're feeling like people are not nervous, afraid, anxious, a bunch of bull. We're all faking it until we make it, and that's how life is. So yeah, seek some help, and I hope you guys can find some help. I wish I could be that person, but I don't think that is proper, and there's other proper help out there, to be honest. So do that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Chapter 3 will be pretty intense. I'm excited for it. The bell rang already, so I need to finish this video. Thank you again. Comment, like, and share, subscribe, and guys, like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.